That's a good setup, all right?
It's a great setup.
Because you have no idea where it's going.
No.
And then there it is.
No.
Well.
What happened to you? You disappeared. No video.
I'm here.
Audio seems fine. I don't know where you are.
It says for me your app is not
glasses.
focused. Focus your app, man. Click on the window, bro.
I gotta find it.
I'm here.
Can't see without my...
Click on me. This is a great start, by the way.
What, the blacking out? I don't know what happened. Where are you?
Just
You're here.
immediately with technical difficulties. I love it. This is...
Sorry, we ran into an issue. Restart. All right, well.
Are you going to don't restart? What are you going to restart? Don't restart.
I'm sorry. Don't?
Don't. Just go back to the
Let me go
window,
back here.
the browser that I'm in. Come on, you got this.
I'm coming to you.
You
I'm
got
coming
this.
to you. Hang on.
Follow the sound of my voice.
Hang on.
Walk into the light, Carrie Ann.
All right, so I can see me, I can't see you.
Hi.
Am I in a separate? No, wait a minute. There's another button. There it is.
Are we?
No recording?
After you reconnected, it was not recording.
Ah,
Okay. Now we are. Continue. You start from the beginning of your fishing story, where your friend.
So a friend of mine rented a cabin. It was publicized, kind of shown a picture of it, like with the woods in the background, which was a very extraordinary camera angle because it was kind of situated in a parking lot, and behind it was a dumpster, and behind that were two Bob's
real
Auto
estate
Wash vans.
Good real estate people
Yes.
know how to take a picture.
They did. And it was an adequate cabin for $95 for two of us. It wasn't even $50 a piece.
Nice.
So it was fine. As it turns out, of course, because at the end of the day, the inside was pretty. You want to sleep. Had a pool table. We shot some pool. Blah, blah, blah. But the day before Jim got there, he was spending 2 nights. But the first night reportedly wasn't going to begin until 9. Then that became 10. And then more like 11. And then finally it was quarter to 12. So I fished all day, went 3 o'clock, sacked out, slept 4 hours solid.
Nice. Got
up, went across the street, ate a full dinner, came back, watched a little tube, went back to bed at 9 o'clock. He woke me up at 11 for some reason to say he wanted to be there till 11:45, which at that point I was up.
Thanks, bro. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Good to know that I've lost 45 minutes of sleep. But anyway, he got there, and it was a memorable moment when he walked in the door. It was so good to see him because I'm usually alone on these trips, you know. And we're old friends. We raised our kids together back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Friends for 50 years, and but he and I haven't spent this kind of time together. So I said, "Hey, man," give him a big hug, and you want scotch or you want a beer? He said, "You know what? I think I'll have one of both."
Nice.
And I said, "Well, me too. I'm glad you're here. It's worth the wait." That's what we did, and we talked. The next day, the river was good. I found fish. Went to a spot, and he ended up, he had never caught a fish in the Pere Marquette before, which isn't easy. It's narrow with a lot of brush, and the fish are wild, and they got the current with them as they're ripping line off your reel, and a split second and they're in the weeds. I had one fish on. I knew which one it was. It was a big bull. It must have went, 32, 30 inches. And it was notable because on its back fin in the water, you could see that it either had a scar at its fin where somebody might have hooked him, or there was actually a white fly stuck to his back, but he was notable, and he was behind a female that was fanning and laying eggs in a fast current, kind of pegged up against the chalked up lumber and shit on the side of the creek. And as another male fish came near the female's eggs, this bull chased it off, and oftentimes had to go into the middle of the river to chase the other one. And when they went to the middle of the river is when I could catch him, because otherwise he was pressed up against the debris, and the current could be very hard to get to him. But I finally got him on after.
He's just trying to get his rocks off on the like.
He's gorging. He wants them all to himself. And behind him, where he's unfettered, because he's in the lead, behind him are 3 other males. And behind them are a couple of brown trout, and everybody's eating the eggs. He can't get all of them.
Right.
But if one of those 3 behind him has the balls to try to get a better access to the eggs, he chases them. So that happens, then 2 fish are in the middle of the river, where at the right time, that's where my fly is. Set the hook, boom. And I got him on after 2 days of trying. Same fish.
The horny
2
bastard.
different days. Same hole. This fish, like a rocket, ran my line off, zzz, and went into a pile of brush across the river. And as soon as it hit the brush, that fly line just exploded in the air, all loose. He just ran into and knocked that fly off. Bam. Which proved that I probably did not have him in the mouth, which is what I had hoped for.
You tried to cock block a trout.
I'm not sure about all that.
I mean, he was trying to get to the eggs and get some of that sweet reproduction happening. No?
Indeed. Anyway, so Jim got a fish on. I went up, and he had on what looked to be a brown trout. Pulling him in. I put my pack down, my vest, took the net, attached to my back, and walked toward him. Maybe 6 steps. And he looked over his left shoulder with the pole bowed. Still cranking, if I recall, maybe. Looked over his shoulder and said, "I don't need a net." And as soon as he said it, he took his eye off the prize. And the fish got away. And he said, "Oh, shit." And I said, "Rule number 2, you always want a net." No matter.
That could be
you want a picture, you want a net.
Exactly.
So that was fun. I came back to Kazoo. My wife had left. I dropped her off at the airport at 4 a.m. Continued to drive to my fishing hole a couple days before on Tuesday.
Where'd she go?
She went to Wilmington, North Carolina to stay at the beach with Kathy Johnson.
That thing that she does
her
every
spring
year
walk.
where they walk along the beach and just
And she just got back.
chill out. Nice.
That was fun.
My wife also left me last week. So, as I mentioned before, my wife in February, we went down to the Canary Islands for her to have a nose job done. And
I remember that story.
And her sister was immediately, her younger sister was immediately kind of jealous, and she signed up as well. And she also went down to the Canary Islands, and with their parents, but their parents
and your wife.
But their parents aren't really fit to spend a night in the hospital room with the patient, and so my wife said, "I'll do it," and so she went down there for a full week, like Saturday to Saturday.
Yeah,
and
good sister.
Right, exactly, and left me and my son alone to bro out, which was not as exciting as one might imagine, but it was fine. so that happened. She came back last Saturday, and
So did you? A week isn't very long.
no, a week
He
is
was
really
gone for almost 2 weeks. And
yeah.
that
A
was
week
too
is
long.
really quite short when you when you're both
When you're busy.
going to work and school and stuff. Like a week
Yeah.
just flies by like thump.
Yeah.
But so that happened. Let's see. Another thing on my list of things we can talk about is
Do you have a list? Is it it's in your head, or did you write it down, or is it in your?
This
your
is the
computer pad?
last. So I like to, in the mornings while I'm doing some work, in my off moments, I will watch the previous night's late night television from the US. And this, I think, this or next week is the end of Stephen Colbert as the late show. And so this week they reunited the Strike Force 5. Does that ring any bells?
Is that the 5 late night hosts?
Yes, that was during the writer's strike, like 3 years ago. They all joined together and paid their writers while they were on strike, but they couldn't pay like the staff to actually make their shows. So they started a podcast where they all got together and recorded like 12 episodes of
Really?
just the late night. It's Jimmy
Just the late
Kimmel,
night
Jimmy
host.
Fallon, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, and John Oliver.
They're doing skits?
They just
Radio
got together. No, not skits. They just got together to like talk, and
And they're
talk
funny.
and talk about what I mean. They can't help but be funny, but just talk about, because they all share something together that the rest of us can never know of, like what it's like to run a late night talk show.
Yeah.
John Oliver is the odd duckling in that he never really has guests, but the rest of them handle guests, and
Yeah.
when they are together, they are just the funniest freaking people, obviously, and so there was one. They all 4 of the others came on Steven's show a couple days ago.
I saw a clip of that.
And then,
Or a picture anyway, not a clip.
but then they also like recorded like there's a YouTube video where they made another episode where they all got together and talked, and that was super funny. And they also have this gimmick where Jimmy Fallon texts everyone's wives a question, and it's sort of like that. What was that game where you ask different sides of the couple things about the other person? There was a game show in the 60s or something.
Yeah.
And so they ask things like,
With Eubanks was the host.
or things like, what did your husband ask for his last birthday, and what did you give him? And then they went around and they tried to like remember what the fuck the answer to that is, having information from their wife. But anyway, it was super adorable, and all the others are livid at CBS, Paramount for canceling Colbert, as are the rest of us. But it was just a cute thing to see all of them in the same room. Like they made the joke that their designated survivor would be Jon Stewart because he wasn't there. Because it's too risky to have all of them in the same place. But anyway, that was an adorable thing. I will link to that particular YouTube thing in the show notes. But it's just kind of sad to see the end of this era. And Stephen talked about how, like, after their last show, his staff will no longer have any pay. And he has a week to clean out his desk, and they're going to start like destroying the parts of the theater, the Ed Sullivan Theater, that they have built. It's just like
new broom sweeps clean.
Like anytime you have new leadership.
Was there an incident, particularly go back in time, and what was it that? Was something he said or some joke he made that inflamed
No,
us?
it's not really that. Like there is that forensic evidence for when Jimmy Kimmel got taken off the air for like 5 days.
But not for Colbert.
For Colbert, it was
relentless.
It was that Paramount. I am doing this without any research from recollection. I feel like Paramount
got bought out by a billionaire that liked Trump.
Yeah, Paramount, who owns CBS, is now like, and
with Warner Brothers.
So there was some like corporate shit where
which was Trump friendly.
Larry Ellison's son or whatever is like a Trump fan.
I remember him.
And Trump must have just complained. And like what blows my mind, and I've said this before, is like Trump has like the memory of a goldfish. But also, people seem to think that pleasing dear leader will end up enriching them. And honestly, Trump's people have a better memory, which is why when Tim Cook goes to present him with a gold nugget in the Oval Office, and then Apple's regulatory shit gets ignored. Like there is some of that, but it's not coming from his brain.
They're all in China with him.
Currently, Cook, yes.
Musk. I mean, can you imagine the Chinese in the arguably most powerful country in the world, who issues a stern warning that watch your step in Taiwan or there could be a conflict, while Trump says it's an honor to be here and it's an honor to be your friend. So you've got Trump being this conciliatory, soft, oh, I love you, like thinking that Xi is somehow like him and respondent to fucking flattery, which is just
Trump
ridiculous.
worships people like Putin and Xi because he envies their
position.
Just iron fist dictator power, and he's like he says stuff like, She's like, he's amazing. Like he rules over 1 billion people with just this iron fist, as if like that's a compliment. Like,
Yeah.
like
Right.
what an amazing
and secondly,
leader.
Not
he
just
is.
a compliment, but one that we can identify with.
Right. Exactly. So it's, God, he's such a fucking child. I can't believe he's still alive.
Midterms, man. Midterms.
I guess.
This war with Iran has gone so wildly in Iran's direction that there is no way out for Trump. There's no way out for him. And now you have Republicans who are voting in resolution that is at the 49-50 mark in the Senate. I'm not sure if it's condemning the war or just saying it's not authorized.
Well, and you saw how
They're breaking.
this week they the White House decided that if they rename the war, then maybe the 60-day requirement resets.
Right. That first phase. The
yeah.
first phase. What was the old and new names? Project Torrential or
No. It was Epic Fury.
Epic Fury.
And now it's like Operation Sledgehammer.
Oh. Epic Fury, wasn't that with Robert Downey Jr., blackface?
Close.
Close.
Yes, that was.
Oh God.
Tropic Thunder.
I like the
Tropic
golden
Thunder would be a
statue.
great. Yeah. Again. Yeah. Still. I think that was from back before we started recording, but the. I was gonna say something about.
Here's another.
Oh
thing
no.
to
Okay.
consider.
So, wait. So here's my cynical take about your. Don't worry. The midterms are coming. The midterms are coming, and they're gonna rework Congress, right?
Yeah.
And what the fuck has Congress been doing? Is it because there's so many Republicans in Congress that the Congress does zero?
Yes. They're controlling.
And so once there are
chambers.
more Democrats, Congress is gonna like wake up and be like, oh yeah, we
Congress-
actually have power again.
Don't think about Congress and all those hundreds of men and women. Think about the 5 that make a difference. Because they're breaking with tradition. And those 5, which yes will be Democrats. So these elections are tight. And that's what happens is the House now is controlled. That means all the chairs of all the committees are chaired by Democrats. That means that the issues that want to be raised are raised when a Republican is the chair of the committee. A Democrat says, I want to bring up a bill about child welfare reform because of these 15 cases nationally that were discovered where children were murdered, blah, blah, blah. And they won't bring it up on the committee because the chairman controls the agenda. And it is never brought up. So this end, your second in command, which is a minority, has a minority people on the committee. You're stuck. You can't, there's a difference of 1 or 2 people on the committee that when that power shifts, you got new freshman Democrats who come in, who take the shitty assignments, corrections committee, for example.
Sure.
And so that the older dogs, the older Democrats have been around a while, know all the rules, move into fiscal and finance and economy and social services and shit like that, where the heart of the nation is going to be rediscovered as a result of that shift, which is at the end of the day may be just a difference of 5 or 6 people, but it's enough to have a majority if they stay in line. So when that happens in both chambers, a bill in the House goes to a friendly Senate of the same party, and the Senate says, thanks for debating this for 3 weeks. Thanks for all the amendments. We have a few amendments ourselves. We'll agree to all yours, and it's passed the next day because the chairman of the committee schedules it, controls the vote out, and has the majority on the floor.
More shit will get done.
More shit will get done to control the executive, which is what the basic basis of your question was.
Right.
And it's in addition to other things, some of the stuff that's been cut will be restored. But regardless of who gets in, Trump has used up a high percentage of our arsenal in this war. And reportedly, which is questionable, we're already behind. And now he's used up our store that will take up to 5 years to be able to restore it. And he goes over to China, which is the most powerful military nation on earth and the most powerful potential war guy on the planet, says to him, watch what you fucking do in Taiwan, rich boy. That could be cause for a conflict, because here's Trump talking his big talk, and his people not having a diplomatic fucking brain in their head. But, and so the reports are, Trump is basking in the adoration of the most powerful war leader of the world, and this guy's giving him a stern warning. It's like, thank you, Daddy.
I just love all the times where he's just like, yeah, we're the best, and then immediately there's just like there's data to contradict. So with Congress, I don't know if you saw last week's John Oliver with Last Week Tonight, but it was all about how the Supreme Court has been politicized and how they had this thing called the shadow docket that was used because typically you have a court case and then you appeal and appeal and appeal and you get up to the Supreme Court and then they make a ruling and then all of their thoughts and deliberation on that trickles down so that the rest of the judges in the world understand what they meant. But now there's like this fast track thing where you can just go directly to the Supreme Court without going through all the previous courts, where like Trump does something, people say, no, that's illegal. And then Trump's people go to the Supreme Court and they're like, hey, help us out. And they say, well, in this case, we're going to allow it. Like that has happened like 25 times.
It's called a response to an emergency request. And the rules of jurisprudence and documentation don't exist. They make a ruling and they don't have to explain why.
Right. And so this has just been happening over and over and over again because how he has stacked the Supreme Court. And boy, that just like destroys any concept of checks and balances, right? Like the Congress shocking. or the judicial. I mean, if the judicial is totally in the pocket of the executive, then Congress is just neutered, right?
Congress, the House of Representatives is in the pocket. The Senate, not so much, but enough that you wouldn't know the difference with the House. But John Thune, who's the majority leader of the Senate, is not, the dipshit from Louisiana, Johnson, in the House. So anyway.
I've been reading one of the oldest books.
The Bible.
Older.
It's the oldest book. It's 6 billion years old. God wrote it. That's what I heard.
No, not 6 billion. So in preparation, like, wait. Let's go back. How you doing on Project Hail Mary?
Finished.
And?
Return to the library.
And?
Wonderful.
Just fucking a work of genius. And the
Wonderful.
The first,
unheard of.
The first sentence and the
Unheard.
last are just perfect.
It's remarkable. What a ride.
Right?
What a ride. And since I only read a chapter a night, and I've been particularly tired when I go to bed, so I don't even read. I love it when I can just go to bed and crawl into bed and shut the light off, go to sleep.
Right.
I love to read too, but if I don't need to, I don't. But I'll tell you, just to say what's happening in this room, I don't see my picture on the screen, so I'm not sure what you see, but
I see.
the light flooding in here is dramatic. And the weather is 67, absolutely nice little breeze. It's perfect weather. Perfect weather.
67 is nice. For long sleeves.
And in the sun, you warm up to more than that. I have a saying that because I'm a scavenger of materials, which we've talked about this before, but because I'm a scavenger and I recycle, the gods of recycling bless me.
Yes.
And so recently I gave up trying to buy just the canvas on a crank-up umbrella without having to buy the crank and all the metal and all that. They just, you can't find them. And so I bit the bullet and I bought 2 of them for the backyard, a burgundy one and a brown one. Well, speed ahead to yesterday, and I'm coming home from poker, and I'm in a well-off neighborhood, and it's like pickup, big stuff pickup day once every 3 months. This guy has 2 burgundy crank-up umbrellas that are not even dirty on his lawn with a rolled up, what looked like a brand new carpet with seams. Not a rug. I mean, it is a rug actually, but it's so big that it's a carpet. And if you know what I mean by seams, then you know what I mean by rug, etc. I loaded them both in the back.
Seems
of the
like
truck.
it's a rug.
Seems like it would make some sense. I get to my son's house that I'm flipping, take that carpet inside and lay it out on the room where I had planned on buying carpeting, and it comes within a foot of every wall.
Wow.
Which means that if I buy 4, let's say the room was square, if I bought 4 sets of wood or tile or whatever, just take up the edge, and the rest of the floor was just old wood, plywood.
Sure.
Right? I can get by for a couple $100 instead of $1,000 for a carpet for carpeting.
Right.
And getting it laid and all that stuff. So that's a godsend.
Damn.
But these umbrellas, I go in my backyard and they're identical to the one burgundy one I bought. 2 houses from, or about a half a block from where I picked up these umbrellas, this guy's got what looks like a folding oak table. Oak,
Going back to
inlaid oak in the center, rounded edges and legs on it. And I don't need any
That
more
makes a table.
tables, but boy, what a beautiful, it needed to be varnished and whatnot. But next to it, on the grass, is a heavy metal, hugely heavy, a metal base that has a pole coming up in it that is for a crank-up umbrella,
Nice.
which neither of the umbrellas he had a base. So 2 doors up, I looked up and I said, thank you, gods of recycle.
No, nice.
You know, and at that same place, I'm looking and I feel what looks like a rug, and it's an outdoor carpet. I said, well, God, it looks good. I grabbed it and threw it in the trunk. I get it home. It's 8 by 16. Right?
Okay.
It ain't the size of a piece of plywood, 4 by 8. It's twice that. 8 by 16. Or 4 of those, actually. And it's got these gorgeous, big, bright, like gray and white suns on it. And it fits out on my concrete deck. It's
Well done.
I just feel like that is
There's some karma coming back to you for something.
yeah. That's what I'm struggling with saying, just that.
Yes. Nice.
But it feels good. It
So
feels good to be recycled shit.
I just want to probe a little bit more about your Project Hail Mary experience. You enjoyed the book in general? Do you have favorite
No,
parts?
I enjoyed the.
Was it too sciencey?
Well, there were parts of it where I didn't understand exactly, and I didn't care.
Right.
And all I knew was that it was really complex, and I kind of had a general idea of the science, but I was so caught up in the storyline about that science and so caught up in the deep characterization
Right.
that he developed, particularly in the accumulation of language knowledge, which
Yes.
is stunning,
Yes.
just stunning. And
So-
when you picture him at the end in the classroom, you know that what he's doing and what they're doing is being sung in a tune
Yep.
because he's speaking their language because they're children.
Yep.
Although I'm sure they're learning, I don't know, but Rocky
No.
could never. They don't have the ability to speak.
Rocky definitely learned. I don't think there was a translation layer from Grace to Rocky. I think Rocky figured out English. But the cutest moment was when my son was listening to the audiobook, and one day he messaged me and said, "Rocky, no!" When there's a moment where Rocky dies, and it like that, just the whole concept and the whole the way that it's dished out. Like I told you, it's this like white room fiction sort of thing where you as the reader are learning as the character is learning, and that was just really beautiful. And you haven't seen the movie?
Project Hail Mary? No, I have not seen the movie.
Okay.
It's in the theaters, or is it online?
Yes.
Already?
No, it's might still be in the theaters. It came out like a month ago, and
And who's the star of that? Is McConaughey?
Ryan Gosling,
Oh, yeah. I
who
like Ryan Gosling.
who I would never, having read the book a couple times, have thought, oh yeah, Ryland Grace should be Ryan Gosling,
Well,
despite
he describes himself as buff.
yeah, like, and despite the obvious Ryland G, like their names are almost the same, but he did an amazing job in the movie. And like I think I probably said just before to you is they took out a lot of the math and science stuff, but like you have to make a blockbuster movie, right? So in my opinion, they extracted the emotions correctly and put it onto a movie. So I can't really fault the movie. And Lord knows there are 1,000 articles about like, well, they got this thing wrong in the movie because
I've not
astrophage is
seen
not like that.
I've not seen one thing about the movie other than
That's
the
interesting.
initial announcement with a picture of Gosling in a astronaut suit, and
That's great.
and then besides hearing you mention it, it never even came to mind. I didn't think of it once during the whole time I read the book.
Good,
Not
good,
one
good.
time did I
Good.
think about the movie at all, because I'd forgotten about it, frankly. But the other thing that I liked about it was how happenstance put him there, and the circumstances that were required for him to wake up there with no memory.
Yep.
And the diabolical but realistically plausible situation, it's quite credible.
Yes.
You have no choice, and
Yeah.
we'll figure out how to make this work. Little did they know both his comrades would die, of course. But what I found interesting is that the whole shit of what happens in microscopes has always fascinated me, and I loved the idea of microscopic amoeba-like cells and eating this and that, and the explanation of that part of the science was quite learnable and quite understandable.
Yeah.
Some other stuff maybe not so much.
Have you ever looked through a microscope and seen amoeba?
I've looked in the microscope and seen, I think so, amoeba. I don't know what the fuck they are.
Okay, like my reference here is one of the more
Back in high school.
Yeah, one of the more mind-blowing things that I experienced in high school was taking a drop of pond water
Yeah,
and putting it on a
exactly.
and then just
Exactly
looking
my
at it being
experience.
like what the fuck is all this shit?
Yes,
like
exactly my
pond water is
experience.
alive. Yes, exactly. Okay, so you understand that excitement, but also just I love the problem solving, like when he's first like quarantined there, where he's building his own little experiments, where he's the only one that has any access to this critter, and how like, oh, they all disappeared. Well, shit, they've all disappeared. That sort of that mindset of, well, that's the way science like actually works. Like you run a test and it's just like, well, fuck, we have to just figure this out from the beginning. Let me think about how I can potentially discover these things again. And also the genius, like I've seen interviews with the author where he talks about how it initially didn't occur to him that, oh, the alien could be the fuel, and how once that that clicked into place. It was like, okay, now we have a story here.
And an interesting thing about the book was how they made that plausible and understandable.
Yes.
I was never confused about the miracle of this findings, and how it could be harnessed, which, here's a question for you. In Project Hail Mary Part 2, will he return to Earth? He's only 50. He's 73 chronological, but he's 52 or something like that. I think that he does.
If they force that narrative to be written, of course he has to. Yes. I loved the idea that, first of all, that there could be aliens that have just come to learn about science in a totally different path than we have, and therefore don't know about radiation or relativity, or like,
it's so enlightening,
and yet are so much more clever than us on literally everything else, but they just don't know that bit. And that insight
fascinating
that Andy Weir had was just like,
who thinks of that? Who thinks of that?
Right, exactly. So
it's
that's why I proclaimed that this is my favorite book.
Here's something that'll generate awareness about my history, is that when I was growing up, my father and then he subscribed to Popular Mechanics, and I would read that from cover to cover, and I would
Great
build
magazine.
stuff.
Yep.
I would build stuff. And I'll tell you, anyway, because of that kind of thing, the way that he is dealing with these things that he has to build with his hands, and he's got every tool he needs, he's got every resource he needs, and so that's a dream come true for an engineer, an architect. But yeah,
when you say you're referring to Rocky.
No, I'm referring to the
Grace.
What's his ass? Yes.
Okay. No, but how useful as a plot device is it to have Rocky that can just build anything?
Yeah.
Like this, it all comes together in such a beautiful way that in the moment you're not thinking, oh well, this is a useful plot device, but also later you can think, wow, we put the scientist with the engineer, and the engineer doesn't know much about science, and the scientist doesn't know much about engineering, but
yeah.
And then to just like invent this compound that is stronger than anything ever.
Oh yeah, right.
That's
but
clever.
Also is porous.
Shh. Spoiler.
Well,
No, just
everything we've been saying is a spoiler, including the concluding scene.
no. But like, I wanted everyone that I told about this book, I did not want them to know that there was an extraterrestrial being involved. Like when I told you about it, I said, don't learn anything, just read,
Pick it up.
and see what you experience. Because
So funny.
the moment that that he discovers Rocky is just such a mind-blowing,
Yeah.
like, holy shit,
Yeah.
there's another ship here.
Yeah. Same mission.
And
Same mission.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the movie.
It's as good as it can be.
Yeah.
Rocky's ship does not look well. Neither ship looks the way it's portrayed in the novel, but like Andy Weir was there on set watching everything, and like he's a co-producer and shit. So like he was up in there approving decisions. And what blew my mind, I watched the movie and I came out of it and I was like, at no point did I think that Rocky was an animated character. Like it didn't feel computer generated at all. And then I discovered that it's almost entirely practical puppetry. Like Rocky was really there, like as a puppet. Like they edited out the puppeteer, but it's at no point in the movie did I think, oh wow, like computer graphics are amazing.
Rocky wasn't very big.
No, I think the actual line is the size of a Labrador.
Yeah.
So, and he isn't in the movie either. But again,
I didn't picture him that small.
It's a freaking spider.
Said, though, huh?
Like
they said that, like a Labrador.
Yeah,
in the book?
that's the actual quote.
God, that would have changed my image of him the whole book. Because I
thought it was more cow size.
The size of a small, nearly portable refrigerator.
Like a Labrador, like so, like a sheep, like that size.
The size of a sheep.
Yeah, like what size is Rocky to you? A sheep or a cow or a camel or a...
No. The size of a small refrigerator, I said. What? Do I have to liken it to an animal?
Yes, you do, with legs.
Oh, legs?
Something with legs.
Claws. All right.
Like a...
Size of a big goat.
A big goat?
Did you say goat? I thought you said goat.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, Father, I thought you said goat.
I have a sad story to share. Not that I want to bring us down, but I have a thing that I want to get off my chest.
Don't let me down.
Exactly. Later you can sing and make us happy.
Don't bring me down.
So, we're recording weirdly on a Thursday. On Tuesday evening, my wife and I were going off to our Pilates class, and because on Tuesdays we also have dance class after that, we take the car to Pilates to then drive to our dance class.
You hit the cat and killed it.
No. And we went to where the car was parked, and we came upon this little old lady that we've known for the entire 20 years that we've lived here, and she used to give. My kids loved her because she always had like. Was
she dead?
Candy.
You found her dead?
She always had candy in her pocket, which kids love. Kids love an old person that always has candy, right?
I would imagine.
And so they're always like, hey. Also, her actual name was her name was Candy. That's like, in Spanish, that's like Candila or something. Like it's a short for that. So we met up with her. She was out working her dog, and we had a nice chat. And we were like, "Hey, how's it going?" And she was like, "Oh, good. I'm 89 years old and feeling good, and I'm gonna be 90 next year, right around your daughter's birthday, because she has remembered that she has the same birth month as my daughter." And we talked for a bit, and we're like, that's very nice, and we had hugs and kisses or whatever, and we said, okay, goodbye, and then that night she died.
Oh boy.
And today I went to her funeral, because in Spain they don't mess around. There's like 2 days, boom, you're in the ground. But
were you a suspect?
No, actually not. But it had been like 6 or 7 months since I had seen her. Like, we hadn't interacted in a long time, and we just
So
chanced
were you the
upon.
last people who spoke to her?
Potentially, I don't know. But like we had this beautiful moment in the way that like you're nice to old people, and they but she was like, oh, I feel really good, like she was out walking around, and she hugged us, and she was like, oh, I feel got a lot of energy, and my stomach is good. Like, she said all of these things, like,
yeah.
all my vital signs are strong.
And so what'd she die from?
So it blew up. We don't know.
Stroke.
That night was her last. So it was just kind of wild. Like, if we hadn't had that interaction, I would have not cared nearly as much as I do.
You would have been sad.
I would have been like, oh well. But now, because we had this interaction, I was just like, fuck. Like, we were one of the last people that she talked to, which
Candy.
Is like,
Well, bro.
Can you rhyme something with Candy?
This song is for Candy. Day after day, I'm more confused. Yet I look for the light in the pouring rain. You know that's a game that I hate to lose, and I'm feeling the strain. Ain't it a shame? Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. Wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. Wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Beginning to think I'm wasting time. I don't understand the things I do. The world outside looks so unkind, and I'm counting on you to carry me through. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Oh, give me the beat, boys, free my soul. I wanna get lost in a rock and roll and drift away. Oh, won't you take me? Oh, take me.
Okay, that's it for episode number 280. You can find the show notes at happyhour.fm/280. I find episodes where there are technical difficulties in podcasts kind of humanizing, where we're not professionals here.
But if you'd like to help us support the show, you can go to patreon.com/happyhour. We would really appreciate that. See you next week.